Not going to fall into the trap. I get it. The Cowboys are now ranked 3 in the NFL. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that far as the NFL power ranking. I'm not going to do that. Although it's good to see. It's good to see that we are ranked high. But we got a lot of things to improve on, especially as it relates to penalties, right? And the Minnesota Vikings, when I look at everything, look at some of the tape, at the end of the day, regardless of who they play, they got a coach that I really like. And Mike Zimmer, he's not a guy that fall asleep behind the wheel. He's a damn good coach, and I believe that he will prepare his team to play up against the Dallas Cowboys. And now when we go live, we'll go into more details of everything, but I'm telling you guys right now, I'm excited about our team. However, I just want people to just relax a little bit. The Cowboys, yes, we're pretty good on the offensive side of the coin. We're moving the ball. We're still ranked number 1 in the offense, collectively speaking, and we are miles and miles ahead of other teams as it relates to the dual threat running back situation. We saw what happened to the Cleveland Browns. They went down one by one, and we hope all is well with people, but I believe that the way the Cowboys are facilitating everything is good. It's really good right about now. Now, also, like I said before, there will be news, rumblings, and here and there about trade scenarios. And I believe that this particular team, they feel comfortable with the guys they got. And you know, Stephen Jones' word, we like our guys, right? So I don't think that the Cowboys will make any movement as it relates to trade. And I know, when we talk about the realness on that aspect of it, and I'm not sprinkling the TMZ type of vibe or the rumor says, I know a lot of people will not tune into that. They love the spices. They love the fact or the notion that we're going to get a Xavier Howard. We're going to get what's the other guy named Joe Hayden? That's not happening. The Cowboys are looking at it like we can't wait to see Deshaun Wright out there, Boss Man Kelvin Joseph. And right now, Anthony Brown, according to Al Harris, Joe Witt Jr., and everybody that's on the defensive side, they like what he's doing. So they are not at any rush to move Anthony Brown out, and especially they don't want to trouble the water by bringing in trade scenarios and bringing in a new person that continuity not established. The brotherhood of this team, I believe, was established, hear me out, during the offseason. So that goes a long way with this particular coaching staff. So that's just how that goes. I know we would like to see an Xavier Howard or the news flash of dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. The Cowboys have traded such and such player. Now, to get the asset that you really want, you're going to have to get rid of a dominant player on your team. And here's why I say this, Cowboy Nation. I get it. I know how people will say, nah, let's just trade draft picks. No, teams are looking at it like, man, the Cowboys, we are not finna get fleeced by you guys. No. You're talking about pretty much a team that's 5-1. And at the end of the year, what have you, you go into the playoff, meaning that it will be a low draft pick. Well, in the aspect of picking anywhere on the bottom end of the draft. So nobody's going to give up asset for that. Nobody's not going to do that. They're going to want one of your star players. And I don't believe that Jerry Jones is willing to relinquish one of his strengths on this team or John Stephen Jones. The strength of this team is the depths. And it goes all the way back to a caller. I forgot your name. Charge it to my head, not my heart. He said, Law, at the earlier part of this year, there was a presser. And Mike McCarthy said the reason why they won the Super Bowl back in Green Bay, because it took all 77 guys. It took the depth department. And one thing that we can see with our natural eyes, that the depths on this team, everybody. I did an episode, my previous episode, we talked about role players, right? And I felt kind of bad because it was more than 5 role players that filled into that void. But the top five, I listed the names out, and shout out to the top five. But, man, I can't leave out Chauncey Golston. I can't leave out Wynn, and I get it. He didn't play a lot of snaps, but even when Jabril Cox's name was called, he didn't miss a beat. He was ready to play against the Giants. And he showed us something, and I'm not saying I'm not doing a celebratory dance because he knocked the quarterback out, but that goes to show you that how this role playing, everybody stepping up to the fray. And I know my dog Montana 808, he was saying like, man, Law, I can't just name out five guys because everybody stood up and stand tall to fill that gap. And we can't wait. News announced Tristan Hill coming back. Navere Gallimore, although Tristan Hill is ahead of Navere Gallimore, he'll be ready in a few weeks. It goes a long way, Cowboy Nation. It flat out do. And depth's so important going up against these teams in the near future. And I'm not overlooking the Vikings. I think the Vikings did a wonderful job with their scenarios on defense, fourth-ranked defense, and total offense as it relates to moving the ball and yardage and things like that. I think they're like top 5 or something like that, give or take. Kirk Cousins, he's not afraid to throw the ball. And what the Vikings like to do, just by looking at the film, looking at everything, they like to stop the run on the defensive side of the ball and force you to pass the rock, which is cool. I can live with that. And on the flip side, on the offensive side of the coin, what the Vikings love to do, believe it or not, like Ripley's, they love to run the rock. They love to run the rock. They love to get their running backs involved into the game, and they live off the play action. On third down, they're pretty good on third down offense, by the way. I think they're number 1 in the NFL on third down offense when you go over everything. So this team that we're facing, it will be another situation, whereas if they're depending on the run, if they can establish the run, then it will be a long night for us. It'll be a long night. But I think that we got enough run neutralizers. And one thing that we can't do is look at last year and say we're going to replicate that. 2 different situations, 2 different movements. And I tell everybody all the time, it's all about momentum too. But last year was last year. You put last year in last year's box. But this year, 2 different teams. And I don't want to hear the aspect, well, if Andy Dalton won, then Dak Prescott could easily. No, 2 different situations. And it wasn't all Andy Dalton. It was the running game. It was the Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard show. They was running the rock really good in that game, especially Tony Pollard. You know, we was down by a few points, and Tony shot through there, and when he got on the edge, it was over with. So not all games are the same, right? And not all schemes are the same, too. We have a better scheme on the defensive side of the coin. But let's not forget, they have tape on us and we have tape on them. And adjustments is necessary, right? So we will see who will be the king of the adjustments. Now, I'm all in favor of the Cowboys winning. Don't get it twisted, you know. But I got to give you guys objective talking points on this situation. Now, I can run and have every video say we're going to beat the you-know-what out of everybody, but I don't think that you guys will come here for that. Y'all want to get some real raw analysis. And my raw analysis, after looking at some of the film and looking at what the stats said, and see, you know, the thing is, and this is how I do it. I look at the stats, I said, I read up on it, I trust, but then I have to verify. Let's see what we can see with the actual tape, who are making plays. Now, they are without Patrick Peterson. Now, my thing is, Cam, shout out to him. Shout out to Cam Dantzler from Mississippi State, 180 pounds, light guy. He's going to have his hands full regardless of how you look at it. Vikings land. going up against these wide receivers. And excuse me, Harrison Smith, he got a lot to deal with these tight ends. Because what we like to do on our aspect of it, when we look at our side of the coin, we like to set up the mismatch. Matchup. So the moment you say, okay, we load in the box, we're going to bring an extra safety down inside. That's okay. Because now we can still go verts, or we can rotate or motion the interior inline. He can be lined up inline, and then he step off the line, rotate him onto the outside, and that causes all type of confusion. So now that we know, we can get you to show your hand regardless. If you're a man-to-man, that's okay. We motion somebody follow, okay. We seeing where you're going. We know that it's man. Oh, nobody's moving, zone. So we already have preset plays for those particular situations. That's what makes this team so explosive. And don't let the running game get wild. Whew. Now, the Vikings, pretty good at sacks. I believe they're number 1 in sack in the NFL. They sack the quarterback. They get to the quarterback. They make the quarterback their baby. And that is a wonderful thing to establish that, to be in the top tiers of sacks. And the Cowboys, we got to get better in that category. We're not getting a lot of sacks, but we are hitting the quarterback, and we do have a lot of pressure on the quarterback, but we got to get home. The Vikings found a unique way to get home, which we're going to have to make sure that we keep our quarterback upright. We hear all type of storylines about Dak Prescott not practicing on a certain day when the whole team didn't practice. Y'all know how this thing goes, the 4-letter network. They don't even know what's going on with the Cowboys. That's the craziest thing. But Dak Prescott is a warrior. Warrior Dak. Elite Dak. He's a warrior. He'll be ready Sunday night. So that's how this thing is looking. So the matchups, I love doing this when we talk about the matchups. Who Diggs should cover? Is it Justin or is it Thielen? I'm looking at it like, hey, as crazy as it may sound, still put Diggs on Thielen. Thielen is the catalyst of that particular offense. He got 5 touchdowns because somebody don't know what tubs are. He got 5 touchdowns for the season, and he's no one to sneeze at. I do know that Justin Jefferson, he's a good guy, and it will be a difficult task for Anthony Brown. But what you got to do is, I prefer, hear me out, Cowboy Nation, is when we do go into single high look, I trust Diggs one-on-one with Thielen juxtaposed to Anthony Brown one-on-one with Thielen. Give me Diggs one-on-one with Thielen. And if it's Anthony Brown, you cheat the safety over the top on Anthony Brown's side. For one, we're talking about height, we're talking about speed, we're talking about range, we're talking about all of those things. Anthony Brown, he's quick, but he's not a man-to-man guy, but he's more of a, hey, I'm a guy that keep everything in front of you, and I got a range in the sense where I can see the ball, but sometimes I'm hesitant to make the play on the ball, if that make any sense. So let Anthony Brown play that zone technique. Don't put him at man as much. Have the safety over the top to roll his way when you are only in cover one, or you have the single high safety over the top, man to one. If you have that look, because I'm quite sure the Cowboys want to stop the rush, right? Now, when you are in your cover 3, what have you, your looks there, then you can still have that one safety, because we're going to give you the underneath in the middle. We're going to give you the underneath pass all the time. And Kirk Cousins normally, he don't really take the underneath like that. He will gamble a little bit and take it deep. But our plan will be, we're going to give you the underneath. I think that Kirk Cousins still going to throw the ball all around the field, and they're going to try to attempt to run it. But with that being said, there will be opportunities to get interceptions, the turnovers, the fumbles, and all of that, because that's just how this game plan already is going to look like. And this is only me talking to you guys from the real after looking at some of the tape. So, Cowboy Nation, post me your thoughts, post me your concerns of that. Who do you prefer to cover who? Yeah, who do you prefer? Because I just feel like that doggone Diggs, boy. Whew. Get him on the true targeted guy, which is Adam Thielen. And let's see how this thing can work out from there. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys. We out. Peace.